जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय 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 जय राम ओम।
श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम
श्री
राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम 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 जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम 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 ओम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम जय राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री 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 राम
जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय Jai Ram. What is it? Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, Pranam. Hari Om, Hari Om. For the past few days, Papa has been trying to draw our attention to this most important factor in spiritual journey, that we are not the initiator of our life. However much we read, still we may not accept. We may accept at the outer level, but at the inner level to accept is the toughest job. So we have to keep on hammering, 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 hammering. So one sloga, most of you must have come across that particular sloga. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabodha sanatana. Mamashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshadi. An eternal portion of myself, having become a living soul in the world of the living, draws to itself from external nature the five senses with mind for the sixth. The status of a human being has never been expressed so highly in any literature compared to what we get in Vedanta and in this verse of the Gita, Mamevamshu. A little aspect of myself alone, eva mean verily, there is no cause for any doubt. And that aspect which is Sanatanaha, eternal, Jivaloke Jivabhudaha, has become embodied in this human body in the world of the embodied. That is the nature of this embodied being. He or she is eternal, can never die. That which illumines and animates the body is called the Jiva. The word genetic has come from the same Sanskrit root. I have myself entered into all these living beings as a spark of the divine, says Krishna. And yet I am not divided. I have myself entered into all these living beings as a spark of the divine, and yet I am not divided. The undivided appears to be divided, that is all. The undivided appears to be divided. The Geeta will say later on, just like the undivided space, you build a hall and you have cut the space into a small hall, space does not know of such divisions. You think you have divided space, space can never be divided. It's a wonderful simile, no? When we construct this, before constructing the hall, the space was there. But it was nameless and formless. Now when we constructed this hall, it has got a name and form. And we feel this is our centenary hall. But actually tomorrow, God forbid, if the roof and the side walls are taken away, the space remains untouched, unaffected. Though at the moment it assumes the form of a centenary hall, distinct from other. But at the same time, now we know that it is undivided, it has been undivided, it will be undivided. And when we say space, the other day we found in the Taittiriya Upanishad, then when the subtle and mysterious power wanted to become many, the first expression came out in the form of space. From the space, air from the air, fire from the fire, water from the water, earth from the earth, to trees and Aushadaya. And from that it came food, and from food human beings came. So in that order, from the self, from the Atman, what came out first was space. So here he says, Mamevamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha. An eternal portion of myself having become a living soul in the world of the living. But at the same time, when you say portion, it is not a portion that is taken away, Just like the space remains undivided even when a construction takes place, the self remains all full even though it expresses in the form of different living beings. Manashashtani indriyani prakristani karshati. That little spark within draws to itself the mind and the five sense organs, meaning the five sense of organ perception of the mind. It draws these to itself and becomes an embodied human being. This is the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body of the human being. The subtle body lives in a gross body. In the subtle body there is the Jiva, the principle of intelligence. In the Upanishads alone will you get this profound truth proclaimed in the strongest language. The discovery of the Atman is the discovery of the very wonderful truth that in this tiny body, such a profound truth is hidden. So the Upanishads addressed all human beings as Amritasya Putraha, children of immortality. Body is a child of mortality, but the human being is the child of immortality. Nowhere else will you find this high status discovered about the human being and proclaimed in such powerful language. Never forget your divine inheritance. You are essentially divine. Swami Vivekananda gave the sum and substance of Vedanta in a few sentences. The first one was, each soul is potentially divine. And he added, the goal of life is to manifest this divinity within. Divinity is there, but it is not manifest. It cannot do any service or help to you unless you manifest it. Fire is there in the ashes, but you cannot cook your food on it. You have to separate the ashes, put a little faggot into it, then fire will manifest and we can cook our food. So also here, to have the Atman within, as my true nature is not enough. I must realize this truth. I am the Atman, eternally free, eternally pure. This is my true nature. So Sri Krishna is telling us the truth. The whole of Vedanta preaches us the central truth. Each soul is potentially divine. We can manifest this divinity. We have the organic capacity for it, only we do not utilize it. So we remain as a creature on this earth. We are not meant to be creatures. We are meant to be free. Freedom is our birthright. No literature speaks so high about human freedom as Vedanta. Are you free? This is the main question. Don't be bound. Don't be a creature to be shaped by external forces. That is the meaning of the word creature. All other species are creatures. Men and women are also mostly creatures. But it need not be so. The human being can change it. We can take this life into our hands and shape it. We have that freedom. Realize that freedom. Apply it. Become free. That is the central message of Vedanta to all humanity. It has nothing to do with creeds and dogmas. You can test and verify this grand truth in your life itself. I am free, I am free. When Bhagavan Buddha realized this truth, he claimed, I am enlightened, I am free, I am free. That little spark within draws to itself the mind and the five sense organs, which are Prakristani, abiding in Prakriti. Manas or mind and the five sense organs are all products of nature, being composed of the three gunas. Karshadi means Akarshadi, it attracts to itself. Then it becomes a limited human being. The divine spark becomes conditioned by this psychophysical mechanism within and becomes a limited human being. Thus it forgets its own higher nature. Behind this gross body, there is a Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, and a Karana Sharira, a causal body, which is extremely subtle, and the causal and the subtle bodies go together. So when death takes place, what happens? They discovered that the gross physical body alone is dead, is shed at the time of death. The subtle body continues. Its dying time is not the same as of the physical body. It is very subtle, so it seeks a new body, reincarnates to continue its evolution towards fulfillment or perfection. This is what happened to our ancient development of thought. The discovery of the subtle body made for the great theory of reincarnation, which is so accepted by all of us in India from our very birth. The idea of reincarnation, as I have said earlier in the 6th chapter, all my desires are not satisfied here, and so I get another chance, and so on. In this way, aneka janma samsiddha, attaining to various births, finally we come to the realization of the supreme truth and achievement of the whole of human evolution in the last life, which is attained here and now, not in a faraway heaven. That is how we have to manipulate human life and human actions. We attain this by first drawing all these subtle elements like the indriyas and the sense organs and the mind, or the mind to ourselves, and becoming a limited human being. So the idea is, Papa has been trying to hammer this into our mind, that our life has not been initiated by us. So that is there in all of us, through so many ways. It has been emphasized. We have not recognized this. Spiritual journey is only to recognize this. So Namachapa is to make us aware of this subtle truth. So while chanting Ramnam, if we have all this background, it will surely help us. This is what Papa has said in that word. Ceaseless chanting of Ramnam, side by side with concentrated meditation on the all-pervading reality. So that means it doesn't become a lip-level, superficial, mechanical exercise. So we will try to bring in this, because it's all from sacred texts, Bhagavad Geeta. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha. In the Thus Speaks, the first page you will find, Papa says, microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. And later on he will say, he is there in entirety and perfection in every creation. It is not that a portion, it's not that something out of something has come here, no. Whatever it has come, it remains full and complete. That is why we have been assured that it is possible to reach that in this life. Microcosm is the macrocosm. Individual is the universal. That space becomes, when we say that space, the space is undivided, untouched, unaffected by anything that happens to you at the outer level. But it is all pervading. So we have constructed and we have named it as my room, my house, my site. He gives us that permission to do that, but in effect, the space remains as such. Those who have constructed and demolished, they will easily understand. In ashram, so many facilities are there to understand this. So at that, immediately after the construction, we give a name, no? So it has got a name and form. And that name and form goes as soon as the demolition takes place. But we know the space has not gone. The space remains there. Ranganathanji always uses that beautiful word, Vedanta is a verifiable truth. Those who have verified, they have declared, saints. But for you and me, it's a verifiable truth and we have to verify it. Not merely repeating somebody's statement, because only by verifying we become aware of it. Otherwise, we are only repeating somebody's revelation. So this verifiable, when he says verifiable truth, that means God not only created this, but He also gives us the wonderful privilege of verifying it and becoming aware of it. Initially, we will repeat what others have said for a guidance, But it should be verified. So when we are in the process of getting it verified, what will help us is a simile, a sample, an example, which we are directly aware of it. So that is why he brings this, Just like the undivided space. You build a hall, you have cut the space into a small hall. Space does not know of such divisions. You think you have divided space, space can never be divided. I have myself entered into all these living beings as a spark of the divine, says Sri Krishna, yet I am not divided. The undivided appears to be divided. That's all. So let us try to dwell on these also while chanting, so that we get connected with the root. So when we go through the biographies of various other illumined souls who have taken up only Namajapa, they were clear that they were chanting, this Namajapa will definitely enable them to become aware of the indwelling and all-pervading truth. Nothing else they required, because they had faith in the words of the Master and they started chanting. But this clarity was there of whose name they are chanting. So we have to add this in our chanting session. Mamevamsho jivaloge jivabodha sanatana. Papa had put it in so many ways, but still we have not understood it. The key that unlocks the door to the spiritual kingdom with you is Ram Nam. This is one of the quotation of Papa. The key that unlocks the door to the spiritual kingdom within you is Ram Nam. So while chanting Ram Nam, if all these words, that's why we say before chanting or in between chanting or after chanting, if we keep on trying that, probably we might be able to chant the name simultaneously with this feeling. The key that unlocks the door to the spiritual kingdom within you is Ram Nam. Password to enter into the divinity, you know. Because when we started handling this computer or what do you call it, laptop, the password will be there. First we type out, then only we can enter. So similarly, Ram Nam is the password to enter into divinity. So we have to bring out this Mamevam Sho Jiva Loge Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. And through these, Papa is also trying to make us aware of what all are stored in Bhagavad Gita. Just like it's a library, just like whenever we want any clarification, we can go open it, then there is something there, no? First, he made us to understand that we are not the initiator. He brought in touch with us the famous shloka, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the eternal seed of everybody, everything. And yesterday we found in the 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 shlokas, the same idea is repeatedly brought forward. That he is the seed, he is the seed, he is the seed-giving father. Then from there, that makes us know that without that seed, I cannot exist, no? Because this me and mine, which arrogates as a sense of individuality, was certainly not there at that time. That much every one of us know. So he is the initiator. So when he has given me this life, will he not know? Though he makes us to forget about this later, at a particular junction, a particular point, he causes some material, instrumental factor to remind us, hey, look here, you are not what you assume yourself to be. In our case, he says in Glimpses of Divine Vision, not necessary. He says, don't worry. He says, not necessary. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. That is how he triggers, To know who you are in reality is the real quest. Because we have built up our life from with an image of ourselves, the small I. As we have been gathering so many inputs to build up this image. And we are 100% sure we are that. But one fine morning, he makes us to get in touch with a spiritual preceptor who says, to know who you are in reality is the real quest. Relatively, you are right. Relatively, you are right. But absolutely, you are not. I gave you a relative reality, a relative identity for functioning in this world of my creation, but in that journey, you forgot your original nature. So when the spiritual guru, preceptor says, you are not what you assume yourself to be, we are clueless. Then he gives one by one, through our kicks and knocks, so many things, Whatever we feel that is right, it tumbles down. And then we start going deeper and deeper and deeper into this, and suddenly we come to realize, yes, since I am not the originator of my life, and since he is the originator of my life, why should I not remember this? For what purpose I have been drafted for this particular life? Because I am starting from the assumed personality and I have been functioning. He also allowed me to function. But when by his grace he thought I should also know the real, what is that, abstract, absolute reality. For the functioning in the world as a creation, I need a relative reality. But absolutely I am not. So knowing this absolute reality, I continue to remain as the relative reality. Just like, when the father sees his children, he knows he is the father. The same person, when he sees his wife, knows he is the husband. When he sees his father, he knows he is the son. When he goes to the office, he is a boss. When he sees his boss, he is a subordinate. One person. So there is a relative reality and an absolute reality. With reference to that particular context or relation, it is right. But in reality, no. Similarly, we now realize we have got this relative reality and absolute reality. We did not know about the absolute reality. We thought the relative reality is absolute. So we are taking to some disciplines by which we are trying to restore our original reality, our original status. So in our case, it is Ramnam. So try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect. What is it? Transcend all human limitations. That is identifying ourselves with the relative reality. Unless we transcend that, we go over that, we will not be having a peep into our original reality. It's a wonderful quotation, no? Papa has put everything in a beautiful form. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. to arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, that means going deep within, by reflection, by concentration, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind and intellect. All these limitations have been set by the body, mind, intellect because, my name, date of birth, my status, my wealth, my relations. All these things have come from body, mind, intellect. So Papa says, you have, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, you have to transcend. And then, what will happen? Embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. That means the absolute reality can be realized only when we transcend. And then function, come back and function. If the father behaves like a father to his father, what a confusion it will take. If he behaves like a subordinate to his subordinate, if he behaves like a boss to his boss, utter confusion, So every time when I relate myself to the rest of the people, this relative reality and the absolute reality is there. I am not aware, that's all. That is why everything is going on in an orderly way. Otherwise, what a confusion it will take place. I am what I am with reference to how I relate myself to the world. So that preliminary lesson he teaches us, even in the relative reality. So I am not absolutely the father, the husband, the boss, the son, no. But relatively, I am the husband, I am the father, I am the boss. This should be very clear to our mind. So that is why he says, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and then, embarking on the realm of the spirit, realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. And after that, we function, We function as an embodied soul. All the limitations we again, knowingly we put. Previously, we don't know that. We thought that is the halting point. But now we know it is not that. This has been expressed by Papa in so many articles. You continue to live as an individual, but at the same time, fully becoming aware of your original nature. This is a wonderful point for all of us to keep it in our mind.
Go beyond it.
And at the same time, come back later, no? It is not shedding everything. Transcending, to rise above. When we see from this level, limited objects can be seen. When we go to the rooftop or what you call the mountain top, same me, my vision gets changed, Not that I am there, but the vision gets changed. Now it is cramped, localized, so many things. And I say this is nice, this is not nice, this is dirty, this is not dirty. All those things I will say from this level. But the moment I go to the mountain top, everything is beautiful. and the spectrum, it widens, you know. Same person, eh? You see from the aircraft when it is lowering, still more wider. And you see only beautiful things, how beautiful it is set. So that means when we try to raise ourselves, transcending, and we come back, we are not going to be floating there, we come back. But with this knowledge, everything is beautiful, everything is there wonderfully set. So we will not be carried away by the omissions and commissions or complaints and grumblings will not be there. We continue. It's all right. So similarly, he says here, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect. It can only see up to some level. And then embarking on the realm of the spirit. Spirit is all pervading, just like the space. Realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. So all these things are coming back again and again because we have been asked to realize the initiator of our own very life. This relative reality and the absolute reality. So for transcending this, the wonderful tool is remembering him through chanting his name. Remembering him through chanting his name. Because of all the sadhana, this is the most easiest one. Easiest in the sense, easiest to implement. It is not easiest, toughest. But for all other things, we have to have so many prerequisites, you know. Some conditionings will be there. But here, nothing. The moment you get up, till we retire to bed, whether it is east or west, whether it is north or south, whether you take bath or not, whether you are in this room or in any other room or in any open place or in your room, building in any room, we can chant. In that way it is easy. So that is why Papa chose this, and he could scale the heights, and after scaling the heights he revealed all these things. So simultaneously he was doing this reflection, this manana. Because this chanting was for remembering him, the absolute reality. He was very clear. So he first had the clarity of the absolute reality, and then to remember that he took to. If now we remember, if you go through In Quest of God, you will find in the first chapter, first meditation and then chant. Now we put in two into two together. First chapter, he says, thenceforward a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram. Who for that period gave him real peace and relief. Gradually love for Ram, the giver of peace, increased. The more Ramdas meditated on and uttered his name, the greater the relief and joy he felt. So first was that manana. And to manana, then we got the clarity of the goal to be scaled. And then to remember that goal, he took to chanting. And he found that is the key. Now we know that he could do it in 2 years' time because he was very clear about what that name stands for. Yeah. Something like, when we get into our vehicle, we know where to reach, but the route we are not sure. So we put GPS, but we are clear right from the start about the goal to be reached. If we are not clear about the goal to be reached, how will we fix the GPS? Is it not? We have to first, it will ask for the place, location, house number, street number, house number. Then it exactly takes us and halts there. So likewise, Papa was very clear about the goal to be scaled first. Wow, this is a new revelation. For nearly a year, Ramdas struggled on in a world full of chaos, anxieties and pains. It was a period of terrible stress and restlessness, all of his own making. Where is relief in this utterly helpless condition full of misery? Where is relief? Where is rest? This was the heart's cry of Ramdas. The cry was heard, and from the great void, destination is clear. Came the voice, don't despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. The cry was heard, and from the great void came the voice, despair not, trust me, thou shalt be free. And this was the voice of Ram. These encouraging words of Ram proved like a plank thrown towards a man struggling for very life in the stormy waves of a raging sea. The great assurance soothed the aching heart of helpless Ramdas like gentle rain on thirsting earth. Thenceforward, a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram, who for that period gave him real peace and relief. So today he is making us, you be clear about the goal to be scaled. Not in a haphazard way, in a specific. That is why he made the word, he brought the word attributes. That is how he could connect himself with that source. So the source was clear, and when he was meditating on it, God made him to meet Gandhiji, see Gandhiji. So we are putting two and two together when he said that was the first spiritual touch. And Gandhiji was a votary of Ram Nam. And his Ram was the universal Ram. So he followed that. So that means when I make an effort to get the clarity on the goal to be scaled, God arranges, arranges something for the fusion to take place. So when I keep complaining to him that for the past so many decades we have been chanting, but we don't feel we are aware of the truth within. Now he tells us in so many words, why don't you become clear about the goal to be scaled first? And it is for that purpose you are now habituated to chant. So whatever you chanted will not go in vain, but the purpose will be realized only when we combine these two. Because initially to have all these things it's difficult for ordinary people like us. Because utterly helpless, that stage has to come, Is it becoming clear?
Yes, no, no problem. Clear.
Meditation first and then chanting. Because when we go through In Quest of God, we thenceforward a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram, who for that period gave him real peace and relief. Gradually, love for Ram, the giver of peace, increased. The more Ramdas meditated on, that was the first word, and uttered his name, the greater the relief and joy he felt. Nights which are free from worldly duties were in course of time utilized for Ram Bhajan with scarcely 1 or 2 hours rest. His devotion for Ram progressed by leaps and bounds. So devotion, that word you have to, devotion for Ram. Have we developed devotion for Ram while chanting? We have to ask ourselves. During the day when chaos and anxieties were besetting him due to monetary and other troubles, Ram was coming to his aid in unexpected ways. So whenever free from duties, be the period ever so small, he would meditate on Ram and utter his name. You see it, 2 times he has mentioned this. He would meditate on Ram and utter his name. So we now know how to fine-tune our sadhana. He has provided everything to us. He has initiated into this holy and all-powerful Ramnam. He has made us to derive some benefit out of it also. Now he makes us to think the fullest benefit you have to achieve. You be clear about this. Let it go together. Reflecting on, or what you call, contemplating upon what the name stands for should go along with chanting. What for? To know that he has initiated our life. And therefore, when he has initiated our life, we rely on him totally. He made us to develop the relative reality. And he also made us known in a subtle way that when he will make us to drop this, that also we don't have any clue. These two will make us to know the absolute reality. We have to do some manana, just like Papa said, meditate and chant it. That is why all those which we read yesterday, we will take it up tomorrow also, about roots, source and origin. He touched upon either of these 3 in as many articles as possible, so that one day we will get drawn to it. From the superficial to a little more deeper, he has facilitated us to bring these words in as many times as possible through many of his lectures. These 3 words: roots, source, origin. Huh?
Same. Roots and origin, what is the difference? It's the same.
In so many words he has put. Because you and I would like to receive it in varieties. The same sweet has to come in the form of a laddu, in the jalebi. Ultimately, it's all sweet only, Roots, we will immediately remember the trees. Origin also, we will have something. Source also, water source, waterfall, something like that. All these things he has made us known. It is easy for us. So if one is not clear, you can get it another one, another one, another one. But now we know that all these three stand for the same.
That relative reality, father and son, she wants once more explanation. Relative reality.
Because now when he gave us this bijam, the source, we thought, we have come from our parents, but now we realize parents have also come from their parents. They have come from their parents. So where from this started? We have no clue. So then Bhagavad Gita says, I am the bijam. God is the bijam of all of us. Which fact we don't know. So that is our original reality. Because it has sprouted in our mother's womb and later on outside, that also was provided by him only, by the same power. Inside as well as outside in the form of Mother Nature. We need air, no? First, the moment we land in the air, we come out of the mother's womb. What we need is air, no? Have we brought that air? No. He has already made arrangement, no? Air, water, earth, sun, rains, food, everything, The 98.4 degree temperature, which we unknowingly, we have not become aware of this. So the real reality is that, okay? And afterwards also he has been giving everything. Nothing we have produced, we are only enjoying. But we don't know that. We have developed a relative reality. Name, son of so-and-so, student of this education institution, then working as a so-and-so, or a family man means I am the husband, I am the father. Like that, I am so-and-so. Everyone has got, when they close their eyes, who am I? I am so-and-so. Normally that is how in English language, who are you? I am so-and-so. What are you? I am employed so-and-so. But we all relate this relative reality. None of us say that we are Amritaputra, Amritasya Putra. So then we continue our life for a long time. So many ups and downs, so many things. One day he chooses, enough is enough, you should go back to your original nature. So through a spiritual guru, he makes us aware of these words and we start doing it, plumbing deep, and then we come to realize our original nature and the relative nature. And we come down to the relative plane and function, always keeping in our mind our original nature. It is something like, I am, so you take, you in your own position, you are the daughter of your mother. You are the sister of your brother or sisters. You are the mother of your son. You are the wife of your husband. When you were working in LIC, you had colleagues. You had a boss. Every time when you identify, you know it is only a relative reality. With reference to my son, I am a mother. When I see my mother, I am a daughter. When I see my brother, I am a sister. You are in a position to clearly relate yourself. Otherwise, there will be total confusion, no? So God is giving us this experiment even while we are having this relative reality, how to split, how to become aware of your relative absolute reality and the relative reality. And now, at that time also we did not understand that. Now when the Guru says, you are not what you assume yourself to be, we try to go back to the real, to our reality. And Ramnam is the sadhana given to us by him to get ourselves connected to our original reality. And don't think we will remain there, we will continue, because this was also given to us by him. This relative reality is also a gift of him. But since we did not know our original reality, we got confused. We became panicky, we became restless, we became tense, so many things happen. But the moment we come to realize our original nature, our real absolute reality, and when we come down, just like when we go to the office, we function as so and so, but heart of heart we know, only here I am the colleague. Similarly, when we relate ourselves to the outer world, we know it's only this. That will not affect our reality.
Swamiji,
Ah.
in the Vyavaharic world there is descendance, but in the spiritual world there is ascendance. That is my feeling.
Ah. Both are valid. Only thing
Both are valid, but at the same time it is entirely different.
Correct. Just like the simile, it is not different, apparently different. The root is not the stem, stem is not the branch, branch is not the leaf, leaf is not the flower, flower is not the fruit. Apparently different from the seed. Apparently different from the seed form. But we know now it has all come from the seed form. So we know now that the relative reality is also born out of this. Previously we were not aware. Huh? Soul refuge. அதான் அவர் தான் இருக்கார் எல்லாத்துலேயும். அது இருக்காருங்கிறது புரியணுமே, நம்ம சொல்லத்தானே சேரும். புரியறது அவர் when he tried, when he has been practicing it, trying to understand, trying to experience this for 2 years, and then God prompted him to go out, leaving everything and make it a reality, and then makes him to come back to the Panchapandava cave, made him to reflect more and more, and then these revelations came. We are only reading, we are only reading or quoting his words, that's the difference. He did not quote anybody's words, he experienced it, and then, so his word refuge comes out from experience. Right. Anyway.
Whether there is possibility, or can one ascend to the level of Papa?
Can?
What, uncle?
Can one ascend to the level of Papa?
Can one ascend to the level of Papa?
Papa says, even now, all of you are that. You do not know that, try to know. Basically, essentially, intrinsically, we are that. We have to realize. So it is possible. It is possible because we have started from the origin. It is not that we are attaining something. We have started from him. We lost our way. We try to get back to our. Puja Swamiji said, your real home. We have come there, and then we thought, this is our real home. Now we go back to our real home. This is the relative home. Absolute home is real. Every word of Mahatma's that it gives us this. We just appreciate their words, quote their words, but we don't go deep into it. So now the time has come for us to go deep into it. More about it tomorrow. Hari Om.
Hari Om,
Om
Hari Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Shri Ram Jai 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 Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om
Jai Ram Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Hari Om Hari Om Hari Om Set out. Hari Om Hari Om. We are seeing everybody. We are seeing everybody. Hari Om. ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूत सनातन
Very little. बट मैं थोड़ा